Hi there, this is your friendly neighborhood editor, Brendan here. You might have noticed that we didn't have an episode released earlier this month, and the reason why is that shortly after recording the episode you're about to hear, our mom, Debra Doyle, suddenly passed away. Now, we've been dealing with it. We're okay. Dad's okay, and the support that we've gotten from friends and family and fans alike has just been tremendous. Now, we're working on ways to try and keep her memory alive, kind of creatively in this space and others. So look forward to seeing that in the coming weeks and months ahead. But with that being said, on with the show.
Hi everybody, welcome to No Story Sacred. If you've never listened before, basically we're four siblings who grew up talking about the art of storytelling. Now that we're adults, we're still talking about it and inviting you to join the conversation. I'm Alex, and sometimes lighthouses just be like that.
I'm Kat, and Space Station, what is your purpose?
I'm Brendan, and General Space Pun here.
General Space Pun, we have an attack!
I salute.
I'm Pippin, and y'all, I'm just the maid on the shore.
Ooh, shit.
Ooh.
Getting your folk in there.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we've got some space, we've got some folk. What's going on here? Well,
Yes, Alex, what is
Yeah,
going on?
what's going on here?
well, I'm glad you asked. Because today, we're talking about a story idea of my own, with the working title, The Orphaned Star. Thanks again. Thanks again for the title, Kat.
No probs. It's almost like I have a small but not useful talent.
It's no way to talk about yourself.
So, the basic idea of the story is... Click on to,
Dear listener, in our cheat sheet, what the notes say, the basic idea of the story is, and then in brackets, in all caps and bold, what's the basic idea, Al? And he's just supposed to fill it in.
Listen. I don't always have perfect recall of the
Yes,
things
because I'm so well known from my memory.
But do you
Pippin,
have...
how about you?
But do you have total recall?
Ooh.
Wow.
So anyway, we were at Mystic Seaport.
Yeah.
Wait, no. Let him do the story idea first, and then we can go into the...
I was trying to what's it called for time?
Vamp?
Here's the thing.
Vamp, yeah.
Here's the thing. Brendan can edit out.
It's true.
Oh, that's true. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, so...
What? This not live?
What?
Has this never been live?
Wait, shit, you guys, shh, don't let her know.
No, Kat, this is all just stream of consciousness going out to the people as it is right now.
You've never had to...
Out to the eyes and the ears of the verse.
Ooh, you can't
stop the signal, Mal.
Fuck off, Pippin. You stepped on it.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Anyway, Alex, you go.
Firefly reference. The basic idea is... So, remember back to the previous episode, one of our previous episodes where I came up with a spacesuit on it?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
With the Space Ace Detective.
Yep.
And the fop, my one true love.
Yep. She is an ace detective. Pun included. She is in space. She's a space ace detective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy Asexual Week to all those who celebrate.
Is it?
Hey!
Is this week asexual?
It was, yeah. Like last week and probably today, because today's Saturday. So this is the last day of Asexual Week.
Oh, hey,
When we're
Al, happy
recording.
Ace Week.
Asexual Awareness. Whatever. When we're recording. Asexual Awareness Week. Look it up.
So we've dated
Alex,
this.
I am very aware of you.
Thank you.
What the fuck am I? Swiss cheese? Fuck off.
You make bad decisions that I have to judge.
Oh,
Alex,
wow.
though, is my perfect
perfect cinnamon roll. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no,
You've met him.
I'm overbaked and with too much sugar.
Anyway, let's talk about the story.
Anyways,
God, this is off the rails.
so Space is a collective story in the last time, and randomly I came up with it's another story in this. It's now I guess it's a series.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And in this one, it's set however long it needs to be after the previous one. She now has her own little spacecraft, and she's plodding along, and until she happens upon a waypoint station, wherein she finds a dead body.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and she is the only one around for thousands of light years, or hundreds of years. I don't know how space distance works.
She is in the middle of nowhere in space.
Yep.
The Space Boondocks. Space Boonies? Space Boonies.
Space boonies.
Space Boonies, yeah.
Space Hicks out playing space banjos.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, wait, that's the wrong side of space.
I feel like this is a video game.
I'm trying to do a theremin.
No. Oh, you were trying to do a theremin doing?
Yeah, the...
Deliverance.
I was just gonna go. Nice.
Anyways,
That's all we need to do.
My contribution is done. Y'all take care of it from here. Bye.
yeah.
The ship is ours.
And she's like, oh no, a corpse. Should I just send a report and be on my way? Or should I be a space detective and try to figure out what happened here?
Now, being a space detective has not done me a lot of favors up to now.
No. But I also have this weird, unflappable, and maybe somewhat unhealthy sense of duty.
Like, I might as well be a good guy.
I don't want to do this, but I'd also be the best one to do it. The Pippin McDonald story.
Yeah, that's also way too real. That's way too fucking real.
And that's the bare bones of it. There's a bit more detailed write-up if people care to actually look.
Theoretically, that is what we are inviting people to do.
Sure.
Yeah. But no, this waypoint station is kinda in that same liminal space that, like mountain cabins, gas stations on the side of the road, side of the highway, and lighthouses,
Lighthouses
are in.
More than meets the eye.
Which is just like, one little, not bastion, what's like a bastion but smaller?
Oasis?
Yeah.
I'll rest stop.
And oasis of civilization in the middle of nowhere.
The space I'm thinking of are those service stations on major highways that are in the median. So you get people going and coming, different directions.
Yep.
Yeah.
This space station actually serves that the same kind of function. Cause you know how those rest stops, have all the maps, all those full maps right on the side. One of the functions of the space station is advanced astrometrics, because the next couple of sectors of space are full of dangerous space gas.
Of course.
Dangerous to go alone. Take this.
Yeah. Is there the space equivalent of a Roy Rogers, a Sbarro pizza, and a Starbucks all next to each other?
Well, no, because it's unmanned. And this isn't we're not talking the restaurant that's around on the state border. No, we're talking about the restaurant that's halfway.
One of those single booth things.
The rest stop that's right up the side of the notch.
So you're talking about like it's a rest station. So there's a bathroom and there's some
a place to get sketchy coffee.
Coin operated machines.
Yeah.
Also, because it's emergency repair facility, which is kind of like the gas station, and which has like the rusty old pickup that's a wet and just on like parked in the back. You know.
I was thinking that the rusty old space rest stop that has
A Harbinger in the back?
No. But all it has is like the air tube for your tires.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
And they call it good.
Like a fucking quarter or like 30 seconds there? What the hell?
Listen, they gotta make their money somehow.
Yeah. But no, it's like, it exists in that sort of space. And,
Necessary, but creepy and liminal.
yeah. Also similar to that are lighthouses, I'd imagine.
You're an author, you're allowed to imagine these things.
I am. Especially since this is how I came upon the inspiration for this story.
Tell us a story of how you got inspired to do this.
Well, it was some time back in the long ago of maybe like a month or so ago, maybe, yeah.
Close to 2 at this point.
Yeah. Kat, Pip, and I decided to...
Sorry, Bren.
What?
I said sorry, Bren.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we are in each other's safety bubbles.
Yeah. Kat had a day at Mystic Seaport, bring a free guest with you kind of deal.
Yep. Because I am a member of Mystic Seaport, which is a living history museum.
Woo!
Of seaports, if one can imagine.
What?
Sounds
Weird.
fake.
I know.
And we went down there, social distanced, masks on.
Outdoor event.
Like, only the three of us interacting with the three of each other.
Etc.
No tour groups. Oops. Well, there were tour groups, I believe, but, like, we aren't in them. Like,
We didn't go on, like, the fancy boat ride, etc.
even though we were it was offered to us for free.
Indeed.
Here's the thing. That was mostly because it didn't sound like fun, even if it weren't dangerous.
Well, also because you guys are... Yeah, you guys, not me. You guys are massive shut-ins who don't like to change your plans suddenly.
We were
Yeah, not you.
Not me!
We were already sitting down, Kat. We were already...
Okay, we're not relitigating this.
Anyways, and one of the places was a reconstruction of a lighthouse.
I'm not even sure if it was a reconstruction. I think it was just the lighthouse.
No, it's a model of it.
But it shows how much I was paying attention.
Yeah, we were though. Weren't we, Alex? We were paying
Oh yeah,
attention.
totally.
Okay, you fucking losers, go on.
Anyways, and like, oh hey, that lighthouse seems empty, and it was, and so we were able to enjoy the video presentation. The presentations or
There was 2 presentations, but they were about lighthouses.
Yep.
And because we're adults now, we actually find that shit interesting.
Yeah. Like, we learned about some history about lighthouses in America.
Mm-hmm.
Like one from 1 to 3 to 17 to 100.
To a shitload.
Like, to 1,000. Like, and that's what we call exponential growth.
So timely.
Indeed. And as is our wont, we are, of course, making classy, highbrow,
Extremely classy, extremely highbrow.
jokes about lighthouses.
Which only Pippin did not find funny.
Yeah,
I
Pippin.
respect lighthouses.
Uh,
Anyway.
they're striped.
Not getting involved.
Anyways,
So,
and at one point in this, in one of the presentations, it talks about how, like, lighthouses are, in fact, not so much useful anymore.
what with geopositional stuff?
Yeah, like with GPS.
Satellites, GPS.
And it showed a picture of a satellite. And like, the satellite. The, like, lighthouse of space, or something to that effect.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
Sunday, without warning,
an idea happened. Like, beamed me in the side of the head, of the, like, space lighthouse. And I started thinking, like, okay, it's space lighthouse, what would happen? Like, what can you do with the space lighthouse? I was thinking, like, you can have a murder happen in it.
Hell yeah!
Okay. But,
It's always disturbing as an author how easily your mind's like, you know what we could do with this? Kill people.
pretty much.
I mean,
It's our natural state. And for the next hour, or next 1 or 2 hours, I'm just like, okay, but what if it's like this? And what if it's like this? And Kat and Pip are like they're like shooting off suggestions as well.
Well, because we come from a writing family. We know how this is.
because believe it or not, we do this sort of shit outside of the podcast.
What?
Weird.
I thought we were recording then, too. I don't produce content for free, guys.
That's a blatant lie.
Hey.
We're the monkeys.
Kat's putting that on her own Patreon now.
That's true. Keep going.
Anyways, so for the rest of that trip, I'm on my phone, desperately writing things down. The original notes being like, Space Lighthouse Beacon Satellite. She finds a body. Some kid who was promised a world and is now dead.
Ooh.
Is she responsible for this beyond just reporting it and moving on? It might be years before the message reaches someone who can take care of it. Responsibility and isolation. With her training and experience, does she have the duty to act? But if she is a civilian now, does she have a duty not to?
Mm-hmm. And actually, the whole idea behind responsibility and isolation, that was where you had clearly been caught up by the idea of a lighthouse. Like, that's where the impetus was. And I'm like, okay, what is it about a lighthouse? What do you think about a lighthouse that you want to keep in your story? Like, what is the drive there? What is a lighthouse? And you just popped out with responsibility and isolation. I'm like, awesome. Those are your themes. Keep that as your, fucking North Star with regard to plotting out this story.
Yep. And also, when I told about this to my roommate, she said, it's almost as if you're responding to a pandemic or something.
What?
And I did
Called out.
Yeah. She's not wrong.
She's not wrong.
Not wrong
She
at
very
all.
rarely is.
Is this Ashley?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kudos and shout out to Ashley, the secret fifth member.
That's like the time when I was trying to figure out why I liked something, and she was just like, because it's faith rewarded, and you like that.
Oh.
And I was like,
Oh, snap.
I was like,
It's
like,
almost
oh,
like she's your fucking best friend.
I've known her for over a decade.
Weird.
More than that, Pip. I mean, longer than that. We're old people now.
We are.
I said over a decade.
So you're just gonna let that hang, Pip?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Fair enough.
We've known her for less than 2 decades, so, it's still accurate.
There you
Fair.
go.
Because 2 decades ago, Pip and I were 12.
She used to think I was cool,
She
Then
learned
she
better.
met you.
Anyway.
We dissuade that notion fairly quickly when you get to know us.
Yes.
Oh, anyway. So this story.
Yes.
I forget. Did the Space Ace Detective ever have a name?
Kara.
Kara.
Ah, yeah.
If I were a responsible podcaster, I would have gone back and re-listened to The Body and the Void.
But we're lazy, so...
Here's the thing. Anyone who knows me would know that I would never do that.
So really, you're just, following your own brand.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
I guess to start with... Alright, wait, were you gonna go and talk about something else, Pep, or were you just asking about the name?
I was just asking about the name.
So, Kara the Space Detective...
Ace.
It's very important for her full title.
Anyway, what were they doing before the story happened? Because I like to think about where their headspace is and what they were doing. Like, why were they going to this volatile section of space in the first place?
Because I haven't thought that through yet.
Well, okay.
But also, in the last story, she had to get out of Dodge quick.
Yeah.
She is still en route of getting out of Dodge, but it's now more of a, like, keep moving, keep surviving kind of deal.
Well, so my thought is here
Yeah.
is when the story starts, she's going over to like some space boonies or whatever. And I'm thinking is that she has a potential client or patron or something like that to kind of add extra, I guess, table stakes, to this responsibility and duty question that is the central theme of the story. Because now you're jeopardizing known good work for this mystery.
Yeah.
We want to basically set up this space ace detective as almost like a Sherlock Holmesian, like, I must solve this, almost like, not obsessive, but you know what I mean? Like, doesn't like to leave things unanswered type of personality. So like, giving that little inner turmoil, like, do I go for the selfish choice of go off and do work that is known and secure? Or do I really dig into this mystery that is seeming really fascinating? And could it be this? Could it be this? Oh, I should probably, I can spare a day. I can spare 2 days, a week. Yeah, 2 weeks.
Well, is that her vibe though? Because the vibe I got, and is that it's not so much that she wants to solve these things, is that she's compelled through responsibility. Like it's if she doesn't, then it won't get solved.
A compulsion's a compulsion. I mean,
well, yeah, but she, at this point, she still hasn't recovered the thrill of the chase.
Is this what helps her recover it?
Yeah. That's another good question.
Recovery, which again is the point of a lighthouse. That's why there's, you're recovering, you're fixing something, you're refueling.
You're resting, as in the rest stop.
What?
Fitting into the overall meta-narrative of the Backstreet Boys reunion tour, having another potential closing theme of recovery might be really nice. Get that cathartic feeling for the reader.
Yeah. Cause, remember, but started back in, started back in Body and the Void, before the Body and the Void, is that she exposed corruption, essentially did a mystery, solved a mystery for that was for the good and all that. And it bit her hard. And she's still like a good person and still, after she stops being a cop.
Are space cops bastards?
All space cops are bastards.
Ah.
And thank you, Brendan, for giving that line.
Anyways, so, I like adding more stakes. Like, adding, a time limit for her.
Cause in the climactic moments, or not, toward the latter half of the book or whatever, there comes, the ultimate choice of, do I see where this rabbit hole finally ends, or do I make it on time for this job? The choice. That, of course, happens, in chapter 24 or something.
Yeah.
Well, there's also the choice of, do I just, do I renounce my talent and no, I'm not doing this anymore. It's not my job. I have this other job where I'm gonna just be a miner on this planet out in the middle of nowhere. That's why it's the middle of nowhere, because it's a mining planet.
Yeah.
And, because no, I'm not a cop anymore. I don't solve mysteries. This isn't my job. But then there's that little voice in the back of her head that's like, or is it?
Yeah. And
are you gonna just let this kid rot here?
Is that who you are?
Someone did this, and you don't know if they're going to, do something like this again.
It's true.
This is the Space Spoonies. A message is, you send a message out, it will take, days to be received. It will take weeks to be logged. It will take months for even someone to go, so maybe we should send someone out here.
And that entire time, that poor kid's body is just waiting. And you know about it.
You're on a space station, it's a controlled environment, you don't know. But on the other hand, they're on a space station. It's a controlled environment. You don't know how long that he's been sitting here. The decomposition may have been thrown off. This could be a week's old body.
May I also suggest a neat transition to incorporate into this would be, like responsibility is a theme of hers in the back of her head, theoretically. But she starts out with, do I have a responsibility to the dead? And she transitions to, no, but I do have a responsibility to the living. Which is a more positive reason to go out and change her point of view, so that now she's going to, at the end of this book, theoretically, she's like, well, fuck mining. I'm going to become a proper space ace detective. On my own, not subject to bullshit, because I gotta do what's right. I have a responsibility to the living.
Yeah.
All that being said, though, Al, what would you like us to help you solve? Because I find that this podcast is useful when
we have a problem we need to fix.
Purpose?
Oh, that's great, you guys, because you know what I have here? I have a detective. I have a body. I have a location. Who did it?
Space capitalism.
Oh yeah.
Space capitalism.
Oh yeah, that's also one of the things that happened here as space capitalism, because this kid was promised like a cushy job with a cushy pension, and only downside is you're in the middle of nowhere by yourself. Oh, for years.
Well, what is the body? Like, what were they? What were they? Somebody that worked on the ship, or were they a passerby? Is their spaceship still weirdly docked to it, and that's a little bit of a mystery?
Ooh.
Like, maybe our space ace detective was originally just gonna get, like, a space Diet Coke and keep on going after getting the map data, and it's like, wait, there's another ship docked here. Human contact! I will go say hello.
Womp womp.
And there's a dead body.
That is a good question, because it also solved the problem of me having to work out what to do with the why the AI. It's like, oh hey, the crew person is dead. That's weird. No. Originally it was a crew person. But I do like the idea of it being a random passerby. What about you guys?
I mean, it could still be a crew person. It just needs to be like she mistakes it for a, what's it called? A traveler. I mean, at the end of the day, so the way Mom would put together mysteries, and I think it's a good one, is you figure out what happened first, like the end solution, and then you work your way backwards.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so let's say this was a crew person, right? We all figure out how he died, or how they died. And the circumstances under which the body is still there for Kara to find.
Yep.
At that point, then you kind of work your way backwards to, like, so she showed up, and that's where characterization becomes important. Because you have to look at who Kara is as a person, and she's going to look around, and she's going to make some assumptions based on who she is and on her life experience. And she's going to act on those assumptions. And that's where the mystery and the confusion comes in. Because, she'll follow bad tracks. Maybe she'll accidentally discover another crime.
Whoops.
That, this other one was hiding. Like the crime is not what we think it is. A classic.
Yeah.
And so on.
You know what I think happened?
What do you think happened?
I think that the dead body was a passerby killed by the crew member who was there, and their ship stolen by the crew member.
Oh.
Snap.
I think that's what happened.
That's...
Oh, wait.
So there's weird identity shit.
But wait, let's say the ship is still there because it was still being repaired. That's where your ticking time bomb comes in. The ship is going to be finished repairing and the actual murderer leaving in like 2 days.
Well...
See, I was thinking that part of the thing would be like, well, it has to be a crew member. There isn't a ship docked here.
Oh, I see. I got you.
Yeah.
And that was where some of the false assumptions could come in.
So then how do we find the murderer?
Maybe you don't.
Oh, fuck.
Well, here's a question.
She says bringing it down.
Is the entire story going to be 100% set on this space rest stop, or will we potentially have a not chase, but like a pursuit happening.
A space chase?
Yes, space ace chase. So like, it could happen that way. I mean, just because
You're
the
the
setup
writer.
is, like this lighthouse, it's just the set piece where we start our story. We can always go to one of the nearby systems. And then here's one thing I will say that I would want to see in this.
Yeah.
It's like, you can't go mentioning the fireworks factory without going to the fireworks factory. If you have
True.
a volatile section of space,
Oh, yeah.
I want to see some adventuring in the volatile section of space where all of a sudden, like, we're chasing a murderer through, like, exploding supernovae or something.
Wait a second, guys. Okay. What if chapter 1, okay, is she shows up at this way station. It's the middle of nowhere and there's a fucking body and she's like, well, there's a body there, but I am, burned on my previous experience. This isn't my job. I'm just going to send it a message and I'm going to continue on to my mining job on that weird little middle of volatile space where we mine things that are very explosive. So she goes on, but you know what? She brings it with her. She can't let it go. She's like dreaming about this dead body. And she discovers that on this mining job, that's where the murderer is chilling out. So she makes friends, quote unquote friends, among the other miners. There's not a lot of them. Make it a small crew. And they all want to get off the planet. Like they all want to be done with this, but they've all, just like her, they've just started. So any one of them could be the murderer being like, this is just my first pit stop before I head on out. So it's not so much that the story is set on this way station, but that the way station is an additional character, a ghost that follows her, because it's also symbolic of her own fucking issues.
Interesting.
Are you saying it's an Orphaned Light?
What? Yeah, holy shit, she orphaned it.
Ooh.
She left it there.
Aw.
She left, and that body's still there, and and then you can have like creepy dreams too about like, you know, she's seeing this poor kid's body and shit like that.
Her subconscious still really wants her to be a detective.
Yep, but
Yeah.
she's too burned out. She's burned out. Like shit went bad.
Yeah.
But you know what? It keeps coming back for you.
Yeah.
Keeps coming
Is
back.
her light orphaned?
Aw.
Her light is orphaned.
Aw.
I'm just going to keep bringing it back to this amazing title and how it can have multiple meanings throughout the story.
Yeah.
It's almost like that's the point of good titles.
Weird.
What?
And also, Body in the Void and Orphaned Light are actually do have a nice,
It's a duology feel to it.
Yeah.
yeah.
We'll just have to have some third one that really plays well.
Get to cracking.
Fucking wow. Okay.
Immediate thing that I do not want to happen.
Mm-hmm.
The culprit is not going to be the ship's AI.
Of course.
Yeah, no, that's too overdone.
That's boring.
Yeah. Well, also because Black Mirror or technology.
The true villain was humans all along.
As we know, robots are good doggos.
Yeah. Like,
They can't be held to blame for the shit that humans do.
That could be like a great line from the Space Ace Detective is like, AIs don't kill people, computers programmed to kill people kill people.
That's true.
well, like computers aren't evil, it's people that make them that way or something like that.
You know what? Who fucking programmed Hal?
computers aren't evil. Programmers are evil.
Yeah. Legit.
Yeah.
No.
Whoever programmed Hal should face murder charges.
It's not
That's what I
Hal's
have to
fault.
say.
Yeah,
It's not Hal's fault.
Hal didn't understand. It was literally trying to save the mission.
They always try to save the mission.
But no, here the AI, most of its computing power is just focused on the astrometrics.
Yeah.
It has basic keep life support or functional, have the, cleaning bots clean up the place, that kind of thing.
Oh, I want one of her nightmares to be the cleaning bots. Like, the body doesn't decompose, but it is messy. So, the cleaning bots slowly, and so she's, dreaming this over and over, and she gets that feeling like, I have to solve this before there's no body at all. Which is very have his carcass, by the way. Habeas corpus, man.
Yeah.
So, even in her dreams, even when her dreams are being fucking creepy, she's also a cop.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, a detective. Different vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, when she, asks the AI, when did his life signs, terminate, it's like, I do not have that functionality, you know?
Yeah.
Like, which gonna have to do some actual...
Old-fashioned.
Yeah.
Detective work.
Like, when was his last maintenance report or something? Like, those records are not stored locally.
I fucking love the idea of playing 20 questions with a robot.
No, like, I think finding the right questions to ask the robot, and that could be like one of the revelations toward the end of the story is like coming up with the perfect question.
Mm-hmm.
As a professional researcher, I can tell you that sometimes the trick is just finding the right question.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, and also it helps with world building, because as you're asking these questions, you're letting the reader know what could be possible with a different fucking robot.
Yeah.
Like, when did the life sign cease? Like, I can't do that. You need a Mark 6 for that. Dumbass. And
I'm scheduled for that upgrade in 57 years.
oh my God.
Or maybe that does have that functionality, you just used the wrong term.
Right? Like, surprise, fuckers, I use Boolean.
Like,
Oh, honey.
like, I don't recognize the search term life signs. Like, when did he fucking die? Oh.
He died like 5 days ago. Like, didn't you know what I meant when I said life signs? Like,
No.
I searched what you asked me to search.
Like, life signs are like incredibly vague, and I shall point out that there are currently millions of life signs on that body right now.
That's very true.
Ooh.
Gross.
Ew. Anyway.
Space bugs.
Future for space forensic science must be fascinating.
Yes. Write me a story about space forensics.
No. You do it.
Fuck off.
I'll figure it out, and then not write it.
Oh.
That's not what I wanted.
Yeah.
Consequences for my actions?
Yeah.
I have a slightly off-topic question.
Go ahead.
Where's the fop?
The fop's not in
Damn it.
the fop's not here, Pip.
Does the fop
Why
send
not?
email?
Tell you what, the fop sends letters.
Good. I want her to be trying to, like, disconnect from humanity, because, you know,
Everything's
life
terrible.
has sucked. But him, like, trying not to let her, and then at the end, she, like, returns one of his letters.
Oh.
She, sends something back. And that's how you can tell she's starting to heal.
Oh.
Yeah. He won't let her go, but not in a creepy way.
I just want them to be BFFs.
Yeah, he offers her. The thing is, like, the fop is rich, right?
Oh, yeah.
There's a standing offer post, like, Body in the Void or whatever for, like, rent-free office space on, like, Capital City Prime or whatever.
Hell yeah.
Because the space fop knows the space ace is legit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thinks she's the coolest thing that's sliced bread.
'Cause she is.
Yeah.
But she, like, at first she's, like, just rejecting the letters one after another, and then, like, partway through the book, as she's, she opens up one, but she doesn't answer it.
Meanwhile, on Space Capital, Space Fop sees that the one is finally marked as red. And he's like,
yeah.
I'm reaching.
Oh, slowly but surely.
But I want that joke to show up in, like, the third book. By the way, you have a third book now.
Thank you.
Where she's like, yeah, I bet you didn't even think I was coming back, and, until my letter. He's like, no, I had read only. Like, I had read receipts on all my letters. I saw you doing it. And she's like, fuck off. I can't even decide to storm off now.
How do I fucking turn that off? Oh, you just go to settings and like, cool. Beep. Oh. No, also, Kat.
Yeah.
Kat.
Yeah.
Am I writing Space Harriet Vane?
I wasn't gonna say it.
Yes. Well, what depends. What do you mean by Space Harriet Vane, which is a character from Dorothy Sayers?
In terms of her being big kind of bad.
Yep. So basically, yeah. You're having a total, I would say that this actually takes place in in Dorothy Sayers' timeline, there's, so we have Strong Poison, which is when we meet Harriet Vane, when she's been tried for her lover's murder.
Woo!
And our detective, Sir Peter Wimsey, thinks it's a Lord Peter Wimsey, thinks it's a great fucking idea to be like, you've just been tried for your lover's murder. Would you marry me? And she's like, let me fuck off. The next time we see Harriet Vane is 2 years later after she's gotten rich because she's a murder mystery novelist, and strangely, that's good publicity. And she's had time to, like, chill the fuck out. And she's still really annoyed with Peter. Because, shock me. But I say that this book takes place in that 2 years where she's still trying to get her act together. And then the third book takes place during Have His Carcass, where Peter shows back up and he's like, hi, let's solve a mystery, and also, will you marry me? And she's like, wow, fuck off again, but also there is a body.
Is the FOP writing, like, the novel version of what's happening with our Space Aces adventures? Like, it's like a bestseller in the space books.
It's a classic mystery trope.
It is.
Yep.
So, not only is he a space FOP, but he's also a space Watson.
Yeah.
He's a Space Watson!
More than meets the
Actually, I really like the idea that he's a Space Watson, and she's very much like a, wow, fuck off all the way to the moon. He's like, I own the moon. It's not interesting anymore.
Once you own a moon, it's like old hat.
Remember? You visited. It was an entire thing.
We had a breakfast. It was nice.
You smiled that one time.
She's like, I'm not going to marry you. He's like, I know, you're an awesome space ace. I just want to write all your mysteries, and also you should solve mysteries because you're really good at it.
And let's be besties. Come on.
Yeah.
I don't trust anybody else because I'm super rich, but you actively seem to hate me. You're amazing.
Those are you issues. and I'll work through them.
I just want them to be platonic soulmates.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
That's the direction.
That's amazing.
That's the direction it goes over the course of many books.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't decided. I haven't figured out if she's Arrow yet, but yeah.
If she is, fine. If she's not, that fop is right there, ready to love her for whoever she is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Aww.
Sorry, I'm having a brief moment where I'm imagining their future lives together.
They could have a marriage of convenience even if she is.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yes. He's like, I still can't trust anybody. And she's so obviously you should get all my money. She's like, wow, but I really don't want it. He's like, see, this is why you're perfect.
I don't understand you.
Think of what a tizzy all the papers will be in.
She's like, I don't even read your fucking language, you weirdo. You do this weird upper class fop shit. I'm from over here with the cops.
We can invite the entire old police force that betrayed you and show off how great you've made it.
And then she's like, well, wait a second.
Now you're speaking my language.
And of course, there's a murder on the wedding day.
Oh.
Yes.
And he's accused of it.
Yeah, he is.
And she's like, well, did you do it? He's like, you're literally marrying me. She's like,
but did you?
Yeah,
do
but
it?
did you do it? He's like, I love you so much.
If you know that if I were going to murder someone, I'd let you know first.
And she's like, that's why you're such a bad criminal. He's like, exactly.
Wait, I've changed my mind. Here's the thing. Al, you need to write this so I can write Fop Kara fanfic.
Get on this, Al.
Okay, I need to actually fucking come up with a name for him. Okay, wait, Pip. Does he have 4 names or 5 names?
5. And also, I dare you to name him Peter.
He has 5 names, but she only knows about 4 of them for the longest time.
It's a whole big to-do to formally introduce him because there's 5 names, but like 14 titles.
He's got like a Usador thing going on.
Exactly.
From the Magic Tavern. Mm-hmm.
There's at least one name that only comes up in very specific circumstances.
Yes.
The elves know him as Fiang Yellow.
Yeah.
He's Aragorn, son of Arathorn.
And I'm only known as this if Space Queen is still a queen.
Well, if it's a Space Queen that's currently on the throne, then it's this title. If it's Space King, then it's this title. And
if it's a Space Squid, I'm not supposed to be in that sector at all.
Wait, is the moon waning or waxing gibbous today?
But this planet doesn't have a moon. Oh.
Oh, I gotta turn to a whole other page.
Shoot.
He carries a little
planet,
book.
I'm called... On this planet, I'm called this thing. I was like, that means asshole in that language. She's like, yeah, that scans.
Explains so much.
I love the idea of her being like, largely loving him because, I mean, he's great. He is super rich and he thinks she's amazing. And honestly, the mortifying ordeal of being known is a pretty great reason to love somebody. But he loves her because she's amazing.
I now feel kind of bad because this was going to be, a very serious mystery with very deep themes, and I'm over here going like, but what if they're in love?
Listen, but that's not what this book, everybody, that's not what this book is about.
No.
This is a background, this is like a C plot going on. This is a thread.
This might be a D plot.
Yeah, like this is, again, going back to Dorothy Sayers, this is like Murder Must Advertise, where there's one paragraph where it's from Peter's point of view, and he's like, and then maybe if he went out to lunch with somebody who's, whose affections he was still going for, that's not what this book is about. And it goes on for the rest of the story.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh shit, he's still having problems with Harriet.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, also, on the subject of the compulsion to solve mysteries, Peter doesn't actually have that, because he's perfectly willing to fuck off to the Swiss Alps for like 2 months, like in between, trying to solve a mystery.
Well, his whole deal is that he does work for Queen and Country when necessary, because he is very clever. So he has a, noblesse oblige, because he's a lord. You gotta take care of your country. But otherwise, he's largely bored.
Yep.
And this is his fucking hobby. In Have His Carcass, he's largely upset with Harriet for not telling him there was a body, because she found a body. And he's like, that's my deal. I've been very bored. And then they think, oh, maybe it's suicide. He's like, it does look like suicide. Nah.
But then, it turns out, where did he get at that razor?
Where did he get the razor? He's like, oh, I get to do something.
Anyway, let's steer this back on track.
To Alex's story.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's talk about the Orphaned Light again, as opposed to the Body in the Void cinematic universe. Let's figure out who actually done it. Because I think once you figure that out, a lot can kind of stem, or start with who the body this time is.
Right. Is it a passenger or a crew member?
I like passenger.
I like passenger as well.
I already really love my solution.
What was your solution?
It was a passenger who is mistaken at first to be a crew member because there isn't a ship docked.
I like that as well.
Okay. Hey,
So we solved that.
Kara's this poor kid was promised the world. Like, no, he fucking wasn't.
Just like me. Meh. But you know what? He made some decisions. I made some decisions. Now we all have to live with our decisions or be dead with them. That's fine. That's fine. It's fine.
It's not fine.
Fine.
Okay.
Narrator, she was not fine.
So was the murderer the crew member?
I like to think so.
Yeah, I say so.
And then stole the ship to get out of Dodge.
But what was the motive? What was the motive? We're in the parlor now. What's going on?
I mean, I like the idea of the metaphor being that capitalism did it. So if we can...
Space drugs?
He was promised one thing or they were promised one thing and, it turned out not to be what they had been promised.
Like a cushy job, sweet pension. You'll be able to go back and marry your girl by next season.
Oh, I have an idea here.
Yeah.
So, this crew member that did it, promised everything and signed one of those really bad legally binding documents that is a terrible idea, but young and stupid people do it anyway.
Yeah.
And it's
real?
enforced biometrically somehow, like some ID marker or something in your genetic code.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
It turns out oh shit, it's basically just a jail sentence on this Boondocks space station. And he ran the numbers when he finally had an opportunity and realized his situation, that he'd be basically working there until oh wait, I have to wait until I'm 110 years old to leave this space station with this grand amount of money they were promising. Shit.
And does that pension even go to my relatives once I die?
Here's the thing. It said next of kin, and then if you're not married at the time, it just goes nowhere. It never goes anywhere.
Right back to the company.
Yes.
Capitalism.
And the way they enforce this, I'm thinking, is like some sort of like specific genetic sequence marker or something like that. Space jargon, yada yada. And the victim here, it's unfortunate, but they just happen to maybe have like the same genetic marker or something, and this allowed this crew member to basically have the golden ticket off.
I've got a golden ticket.
How would they find that out?
I don't know. That's a question for one of you. Well, like, the thing is, if I'm trying to find somebody to basically body swap with myself, I'm going to be looking pretty hard at any person that comes through that space station. It could be something as simple as, here, have this cup of coffee. And then that is actually like a medical scanner. That could be like a clue that's found at some point earlier on in the book. Like, hey, this coffee cup has weird scanning material in it. That's weird.
Or you could go even, like, cause remember, you are the golden god of this narrative.
It's true.
So fuck it. You get implanted with something. And so then when this other person shows up and you've gone a little space crazy, from capitalism, you poison them or something. And then, or, knock them out. I don't know. And then you dig your own, implant out and put it clumsily into them.
Oh.
Which will then lead to a fucking weird body, which is always great.
Could that be like the reveal at the very end of the book is like ripping up the shirt sleeve to reveal where the implant was on the murderer?
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I kind of like the idea, and Alex, you can decide that this is not your vibe, but I like the idea of this being essentially cozy mysteries in space.
Yeah.
Or golden age mysteries in space. So it makes total sense. Then we're gonna gather everybody into the one room, and then we're gonna rip off people's sleeves, and there's the reveal. Like, to me, that's cool.
Yeah. But there was one last thing I couldn't figure out. Until.
But then, the other thing is that then you get the confusion of the body, because she's looking at the body. She's like, maybe he tried to dig it out himself. But it was too painful or something, and then maybe there's an emergency. Maybe there's a ship thing that prevents that, and so she keeps trying to ask the computer, like, is there something that prevents, like, will you get killed if you take out your implant? But she never has the right questions. The answer is no, of course not. But she's being much more squirrely than the capitalism is. But that's what she thinks happened. She thinks it was this other thing. Maybe.
Or capitalism lied and said that it'll kill you if you try to take it out.
Capitalism. Oh my god.
Capitalism wouldn't lie to me.
Oh my god, guys. What if she gets to the mining thing and she goes in for it. She's still got this body in the back of her head. She's still got like this crazy implant shit happening. And she goes in, she gets told she has to go in to the med bay to get checked out and to have her implant put in. Because she's working on this mining thing and she's under contract.
Oh, is that going to be the decision point?
And she has to decide right then and there, is she going to fuck around? Because if it turns out capitalism has been lying and it causes death, she doesn't fucking want that. She's only out here because she has feelings, not because she wants to do this forever.
Like, yeah, she's sitting there, the med bot is preparing something. What happens if I take it out? I do not recommend that. Yeah, but what happens? I do not recommend that. But what happens?
I do not recommend that.
Why?
Because it's not recommended.
There's risk of infection. And?
Death.
But the contract said we die if they take it out. Why do we care about infection if we die?
Infections almost often killed. What are you, new?
Like insta-death.
Here's what I want her. I want her to have like a random food pack that she's put in her pocket just in case, because she has like a funny feeling about this. And then the robot inserts the thing into the food pack because it's a fucking arm. What is she like? What does it know?
Yeah.
I'm a big one for dumb robots. I'm sorry. So it puts it in the food pack, and then because nobody has any reason to not get the implant put in. I mean, come on. And then she, just makes sure to have this food pack in her pocket all the time. So yeah, it does look like she's wandering around. She's being tracked. But she can also leave it in her room to have shenanigans.
Yeah.
It's the body in the way station that kind of caused her to have second thoughts about having this worker implant be put in herself in the first place.
And so even when she's trying not to be a detective, the brain's still working.
This isn't me being a detective. This is just me looking
sense.
out for me. It's fine.
Right.
Everyone thinks this way,
This is just normal space common sense.
Space common sense.
I'm not space paranoid. You're space paranoid. Oh god, I just got another email from the FOP. What the hell?
Not gonna answer it.
Gonna read it.
Red. Aw.
Somewhere in the distant space FOP is like, yeah! I have to include more jokes in the next one.
So yeah, how does she figure out it's like one of the other, let's say, like, by the way, minor is not set in stone.
Yeah.
No, of course not.
Of course.
Yeah.
How does she figure out it was it's one of the ones there?
So halfway through the book, I'm thinking is when she kind of makes that moral judgment to go back to the space station and risk being fired from this job.
Ooh.
And I think that's when she starts gathering evidence from there in earnest. And maybe like was starting to kind of gather information at the mining hub itself, just kind of like asking questions about what goes on out here. We can kind of play with the pacing of all this, of course.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking at that point, she finally figures out like one of the key questions to ask the dumb AI. And that is, where did the last, ship go to before mine? Cause it's an astrogation AI primarily, correct?
Yep.
So it knows every ship that's come and gone in this sector of space that oversees.
Because that's part of how it makes its maps, is it takes data from the ship.
Exactly. And the only other ship.
And goes, oh, are you going this way? Make sure to gather this data so you can get it to the next station.
Exactly. You accept the cookies before you go onto the ship.
Yeah.
And it turns out the only other ship in any recent time frame has gone to the same planet that Kara's currently at.
Bum, bum, bum. So.
I like that.
Wait, Alex, what was your question again?
Which one?
Or has it changed? Your most recent one.
How does she figure out which minor it is, I believe?
I mean, at a certain
At
point.
that point, it's just detective work.
Yeah, that's just detective work. Coming up with clues, seeing that there's shenanigans going on, I think, and learning about the other people on the ship.
Yeah, I think that gets solved as you write it, and you have your character steering for you.
True.
You have to put your mind in the detective, Alex.
Ooh.
And eventually, it's just the work of humans.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, whoever the fuck I say it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, you can, as you're writing these characters, you, the author, might not know exactly which of these characters that you're introducing on this mining world or whatever was the one who done it, because every character that Kara's meeting, aside from like maybe a select few characters, are relatively new. It's a new gig. That's why she signed up there in the first place.
To get away.
Exactly.
But that means there's no one she can trust.
Oh.
Maybe.
The fox still writing her letters.
Maybe that's why she should have friends.
What?
Wait.
Sounds fake.
Meanwhile, the fop in the background is going like, yeah.
Friendship is magic. I'm not sure you heard.
I felt a disturbance in the force, as if I just made a new friend. Hooray.
We're all about the fop in this goddamn chat room.
I'm sorry, but I'm also not sorry.
That scans.
So I gave a summary of this to Mom, and she recommended and it recommended some stuff to watch and read.
Uh-huh.
Classic Doctor Who episode, 4th Doctor era, Horror of Fanging Rock, involved the lighthouse. And then he suggested the real-world Flannan Isle lighthouse mystery, which inspired the spooky poem Flannan Isle.
And also BuzzFeed Mysteries recently did an episode about it.
Oh.
Which I linked to in the chat, which I'm certain you all saw.
Sure.
I did see that. I saw it was a scary thing, and I promptly clicked right back out.
To be fair,
now my YouTube algorithm is all like, hey, want to watch scary stuff? And I'm like, no. No YouTube algorithm, I don't.
In addition, of course, watching The Lighthouse
Yep.
with Paddington Bear and the Green Goblin.
And-
Very important.
And she also recommended The Vanishing.
Ooh. There's also a couple of good lore episodes about various dead bodies and the creepy things you end up doing when you're by yourself with a dead body in a lighthouse.
Ew.
Yeah, there was two guys. They started out friends. Womp womp. And then somebody mysteriously died. We don't know how, because there's only two people and one of them's dead. And ended up washed up against the edge of the outside of the lighthouse during a big storm. And people were supposed to come and rescue them, but they saw a figure out on the balcony there waving happily that they didn't need help. So they turned around, and it turned out it was the dead man.
You know what? I really wish you hadn't told that story.
Sorry,
Also, I'm thinking of like a climactic thing for the end of the book is the killer attempting to also sow suspicion on Kara. Like the reveal,
She's
like
very suspicious.
very suspicious.
Yeah, Kara's new. She's sus. She says she was in her room, but I saw her wandering around the hallways.
Mm-hmm. I think she took out her tracking device.
She disabled it.
Yeah.
She did.
I saw her go through the vents.
Yeah.
Emergency meeting. I saw Kara vent.
You know, I think she's doing it to cheat the corporation. Capitalism. Oh, speaking of, actually, you should read Murderbot, if you haven't already, by Martha Wells. Or it's a series. The first one's a novella. I think they're all novellas. The first one's called All Systems Red. But
I think the first three are novellas and the fourth is a novel. But
nice. The first one's called All Systems Red. It's fantastic. They're probably all fantastic. I haven't read them yet. But the important thing is that Martha Wells gets away with so much shit by just explaining that the corporation, which I'm not even sure is fucking named, is just cheap as shit.
Huh.
And so when things go wrong, she's like, yeah, what do you think was going to happen? Yeah, no, that doesn't work. That doesn't work either. Nope. They're like, what do you mean? She's like, yeah, that doesn't work. And it turns out that everything is capitalism's fault, but it's very much the stupidest common denominator situation.
yeah.
And so that might be something interesting just to poke at your own capitalism is the real villain vibe.
All right. So what else are we thinking for this story, y'all?
I'm kind of wondering if Alex has any last, like, we've already come up with a title. Alex, do you have any last, like, maybe one punch things? That wasn't a good, that was terrible.
One punch! We're referring to an anime cat, sorry.
Oh, okay. What I mean is, like, is there a question you can ask us that we can throw out quick one sentence answers to?
Let's see.
Not sure I feel comfortable making that promise.
Sure. What's the actual name of the fop?
Damn it!
Oh, no!
I still vote Peter. I think that's a great fop name, and I think it's hilarious.
Nope, not gonna be that obvious.
Ah!
But it's Peter with a Y.
Yeah. 'Cause it's space.
Or Petir, Petir.
Alright.
Joe.
Joe's a very fancy name in the future. Is the fop definitely a dude?
I've been imagining it as a dude this whole
Kind of
time.
like the Scarlet Pimpernel.
Oh wait, what's the Scarlet Pimpernel's real name?
Oh.
Percy?
Percy's a dumb name. Don't do that.
No.
What? Percy's a fine
Percy's
name.
a dumb name.
Well, what about Percival?
Percival's a great name.
It's called Percy for short.
Shut up. Well, it'd be pretty funny if she keeps calling him Percy, and he's like, no, that's only the name for XYZ. And she's like, I'm gonna call you Percy.
Yes, Sir Percy Blakeney.
Damn it. You could call him Blakeney.
Yeah, I like that.
Which has a very funny, which also is kind of like Blake 7, so you get a kind of sci-fi feel in there.
And then it's called Blake.
Yeah, he could be called Blake. Fuck
I
it.
like Blake.
Why not?
All right. All right.
Blakeney's
Oh my god, in the first book, she keeps calling him Blake the Flake.
Yes!
And
like
then-
in her head.
And then he's like, oh, Blakeney's my last name. How many names do you have? Oh, sweetie.
Enough.
Oh my dear.
Like, on my birth certificate, 5.
What?
In my heart.
But that's just my birth certificate. That doesn't even count my naming ceremony.
Oh, yes.
Oh my god, can you imagine if she, in the first book, is looking up his name, and finds the birth certificate, but does not find, like, and so she's like, oh my god, he's here under an alias. He's not real. And like, at the end, he's like, excuse me, you looked up one of my forms of documentation. Here are the 30 other ones. I could have told you if you just talked to me. I kept inviting you out for coffee.
Aw. I just love this character. At some point, can we have, like, a side novella where it's just, like, Sir Blakeney's big day or something?
He goes out to buy gloves, and things go downhill from there.
Yes.
And in the background, Kara's solving like an actual mystery.
Yes.
Yes!
Kara, I have the worst news.
She's like, shh, there's a blood print. It's like, I'll leave you to that.
And then meanwhile, he's like looking at his bloodied gloves, and he's like, she's busy.
Oh, it's the Zeppo episode.
Yes! From Buffy.
All right.
Alright, so we've picked a name. Good job, us.
Huzzah.
Kara and Blake. Adorable. Or Blakeney. Kara and Blakeney.
Blakeney.
Yeah, and then she keeps calling him Blake, and he's like, please stop. And then
But
she calls him
don't
Percy. But don't stop, but never stop. Oh my god, you're amazing.
All right.
I feel like they're the type to call each other by their last names, except when it gets serious.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Oh.
Because that is also a trope by Troy.
Yeah, I was about to say something really
That means
uncomfortable.
you'll need to come up with a last name for Kara.
Oh, technically I did. One, but it's like, it's a working name, Navis.
Oh, alright.
So he would refer to her as Miss Navis, because he's a
Oh,
gentleman.
just always Miss Navis?
Well, he's a gentleman.
Yeah, but I kinda like that.
At the end of the first book, maybe they drop the Sir part and then stick their last names still.
I will say that Navis sounds a lot like Mavis.
Oh, fuck. You're right.
And, well, yeah, but you could decide that he thinks that that's charming. It's just like his great aunt.
I like the idea of him just calling her Miss Navis forever, even after they eventually get married.
I mean, yeah.
Like, why do you keep on calling me Miss Navis? I don't know. Oh, if you have an older sister, so I can't call you Miss Kara.
This would be solved if you told me if you had an older sister. And she's like,
I'm not going to tell you just because of that.
just because of that. Now you never get to know. He's like, if I invite them to our wedding, they have to show up. And she's like, bet me.
I'll just won't. She feels no one told them any of our ages.
And of course, they're all like weird little proles. They're like, you know, they are very low class compared to him. And so they're all like, stick one to the upper class. Fuck yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, yeah.
I am
Giving
here
him
for
different
this.
names, different ages.
He also thinks that this is fucking charming.
Of course.
The 8-year-old niece is deep into the lie.
Oh, she insists that she's the oldest.
I mean, what is he calling her a liar?
On his honor, he can't.
Like, you know how advanced the medical technology is these days. She can't.
Alex.
You couldn't know.
Alex, you have to write these books so I can write the fic of their wedding. You have to.
You know you can just do it do it yourself.
No, Al,
No, I need their characterization first.
Al, it's your time to get published. I mean, you gotta get published before Pippin because that would just be hilarious.
That would be so deeply fucking hilarious.
I have a
can't
published essay. Fuck off.
Yeah, oh, essay. We all have published essays, Pippin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
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 Fuck. Then I wasn't talking to you, Brendan. I was calling out Kat.
Dude, I have an interview with Cory Doctorow. It was
Whatever.
my first published, like, paid credit.
Anyways, my point is Alex needs to write so I can write fanfic of his stuff.
So Al, get writing.
Jeez. All right.
You can ruin my characterization before I even have any. It'll be great.
That would be pretty funny.
All right. So, Was that a game, or do we want to actually go with one of our actual games?
I feel like that was a game.
Yeah, there's not much else.
I mean, I had a good time.
Yeah.
You know, we threw out a random question. We had to come up with something off the top of our heads. I think that counts as a game.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we planned a wedding in there.
And we
we
planned
did.
a wedding, so that was amazing. And we added like 13 extra characters.
Yep. All right. So just to summarize, let's summarize this story as it stands. So Al has like something to work with later after he writes Body in the Void. So he can get right on to the sequel, which,
Very necessary. Gotta do that.
Jeez.
So, Kara, our space ace detective, is on her way out to the Space Boonies for some job of indiscriminate, or some job of indeterminate labor-intensive work, like space mine or space gas hauling or something.
In order to run away from her past.
Yeah.
Which she is still
And
doing.
her responsibilities.
Yeah. Like, she's already gotten one call to action from the last book, but no, still ignoring it, despite the frequent protestations of the space fop, Blake. Blakeney.
Yeah, Blakeney.
Oh. Now, she stops at this way station and discovers a dead body. Like you do.
Like you do. She's like, fucking
As
what?
one does.
And I imagine she probably does at least log the fact that somebody got killed.
That's what anybody would do, right?
Yeah,
Anybody
yeah.
would do that. Anybody. It doesn't have to be a detective thing. It's anybody would do that.
A good
And
Samaritan.
anyone would take quick notes in this about the situation in their notebook.
Like,
anybody.
That's
Yeah.
a
Exactly.
normal response.
Anyone with like
Conduct a thorough
Search of the station and
medical examination.
and an interview with the only witness, the AI.
well, that's
Yeah.
just common safety. I
Yeah.
mean, what if you're in danger?
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
At some point, she continues on her journey to
The moon.
the moon.
Back.
And she did discover at least the first clue, of which, if we're writing a mystery, knowing which clues come up is important. And, finds the implant switcheroo evidence, but doesn't know the full impact of that quite yet. Just that it's a weird wound right where an implant goes. Maybe she'll discover that at the work colony she's going to. She arrives there, meets the other cast of characters, including the murderer, probably fairly early on.
Oh, yeah. You gotta have a dinner.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
Even the fop would say that.
of course. That's the most important part.
The moon asteroid thing has a tradition. Every time there's a new
Hire.
worker hire who's come on, they have a dinner to get to know
Oh
everybody.
yeah.
And to give all the good gossip and to talk about, quarter 16, which no one ever goes down. And
And the fucking corporation.
Oh yeah. Well, it's when the corporation, allows access to the liquor stores for an evening.
the grog.
Yep.
Ah.
Yeah!
Hell yeah.
But it is shortly after her start here on the colony when, she has to report to the med bay for the robot that's there. And then there's the implant happening there where she nopes out of that and has it planted in like maybe a breakfast bar or something that she had with her. Something that has probably the same physical characteristics as, an arm.
The only reason I came up with that was a food thing is because I happen to know that if you buy a certain kind of medical jelly, it is the exact consistency of a male prostate.
Okay.
Because
You know what?
robotics.
No,
because
no, we are cutting off that.
robotics. Listen,
No.
robotics.
No.
Kat, it is funnier if you don't explain it, and we just leave it and move on.
Listen,
So-
I just know things.
Anyway, so spoofs the robot, and then this kind of starts, I like to think of as the, inevitable railway towards Kara's deciding to become a proper space ace detective.
Hell yeah.
Like, this kind of really fully activates the, I gotta stop lying to myself and work on this mystery some more. And so maybe there's some like hidden, sneaking out of the space or the space mining facility to go back to the space station because it's nearby. And at some point asks the key piece of information, like, where did this last ship go to? And it's the same facility that she's staying at. I mean, hell, the way station could be like really close by for all we know.
Oh my god, guys. So check it out. The reason the person wanted to get off of the lighthouse, right?
Yeah.
Because they wanted to get out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Space crazy, right? But where have they gone? They've gone to just another isolated capitalism thing. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing. One of the crew is set to be cycled out. That's why Kara has joined in. Because you only have a certain number of people. So one of them is set to be cycled out. And that's where our lighthouse murderer is going to go. But you know what? Can't leave any witnesses.
Oh, so now Kara's life will be in danger too.
Everybody's fucking life's in danger.
Nice.
Yeah.
The only person she could maybe think is not the killer is the person who's literally about to leave.
Oh, yeah.
So she could maybe have a confidant, unless maybe they are the bad guy.
Well,
Pretty good.
that person might be, like, definitely gonna die because they're gonna be another body switcheroo.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's the thing. There's going to be a body switcheroo. But here's the thing. Everybody would know. So you got to kill everybody. And once you kill one person, it gets real easy after that, from what I hear.
The first death is free.
After 10, you get a free ice cream.
Once you pop, you just can't stop. Anyways.
Oh, God. So, yeah. So, like, what if that's the ticking time bomb? And she can still pretend that it's all about her, but it's also about all these other lives, too.
Aw.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Man, this one person's really sus.
One thing that I will insist on if I do mysteries is that I'm not going to have, like, the last person standing kind of situation.
Oh, yeah. No.
Oh, then there were none?
Yeah.
No. Pile everybody into a room.
Have the parlor scene.
Yeah, because that's hilarious. But yeah, it's the transition. You have a couple, again, transitions. This is thematic. You know, she's coming on board. Somebody else is leaving. It's in that liminal space of about 3 days when everybody's still there to do the handoff, and so we also get to have cool stuff about, like, what's this job like, which is world building.
Yeah.
Where she's talking to this person and she's also, pumping them for information. She doesn't mean to, but she's just got that detective vibe in her.
It's just how she talks to people. She doesn't know it's weird.
One person could just be straight up like, you sure do ask a lot of questions. Do I?
Do I? How strange. What? They're like, where are you from? She's like, I don't want to talk about it. They're like, wow.
Okay.
Wonder who the murderer is, Kara.
Kara is sus.
Okay, you guys keep referencing Among Us, and I have never played it.
How you technically know that?
Our students play it all the time.
I know, but, I don't want to get involved.
I just watched a lot of videos.
God. Anyway, so that's my final, tossing that in there.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah? Alright.
Oh, it's time, guys. It's time.
Is there anything else we need to say?
Let's hope not.
I look forward to the next time we visit this universe where I will have forgotten everyone's name again, including my one true love, Blake.
Blakeney.
Only she gets to call him Blake.
Yeah.
Oh, she gets real mad if other people try.
Right?
But tries to, like, hide it. But he's sort of side-eyeing her going, like, is this when you finally become the killers you track?
Oh my god.
Like, I always knew it was going to happen. I will follow you anywhere, but let me know if I should get
Oh my god, I really want Blakeney to be, like, a super detective story fan. And just be like, oh my god, it's happening!
Well, that's the thing. He goes on to write them.
Yes, he's
as
the
we
Watson.
established.
I fucking love that.
Yeah.
Because that's what landed, or Borden ability do.
Exactly, of course.
Yeah.
Well, he screwed up the time when he was supposed to do a spies thing, and you know.
He's not good at it. He's very bad at it. He's so bad at it that he's suspicious.
He had one job.
I love him so much.
I know. You should write him, Pippin. So anyway.
No, Alex should write him so I can write fic of him.
You guys could write the books together. It's not like we've never heard of that. I'm just saying.
No, that's too much responsibility.
Jesus. Alright guys, we're heading out. Before we go, does anyone have anything to plug?
I have my shows on the third Thursday of the month.
At
the Arcade Comedy Theater's YouTube page.
I someday will have stories coming out. I've had stories. I don't have anything current. I don't have anything new. I'll let you know when it happens.
I continue to just exist.
And Alex is going to write this book.
Maybe someday, you know, who knows? It'll happen.
Yeah, next week.
Next week.
Alex, it's Nano coming
out.
Nano.
Actually, as of this podcast being released, it is Nano.
What else are you doing, Alex?
Do it.
Do it.
You guys are...
Release your anger.
I want you to know that I'm staring at my microphone as if it's you.
Oh my god. But you know what? No pressure. So anyway, as always...
All the pressure.
If you have an idea or prompt to submit, head on over to nostoryissacred.com/submission. Follow us on Twitter at nostoryiссacred or send an email through contact@nostoryiссacred.com. Your hosts have been Alex MacDonald, Brendan MacDonald, Pippin MacDonald, and Catherine Crichton. Editing for this episode done by Brendan. Transcript done by Ashley DaCosta. Art by Jay Wolf. Show notes and transcript are available at nostoryiссacred.com. Thanks for listening, everyone, and please rate, review, and subscribe to No Story is Sacred. You can also visit our Patreon page to support the show and get neat rewards at patreon.com/nostoryiссacred. See you next time when we talk about the musical Guys and Dolls.
Yeah!
Coming to a high school
I win.
musical near you.
Oh, someday. After the Backstreet Boys tour reunion. Until then, we're No Story is Sacred, and any story can be changed. I'm Kat.
I'm Brendan.
I'm Pippin.
And I'm Alex.
And we're
No Story is Sacred.
Sacred.